everybody? Welcome to the Non-Negotiables podcast. Anybody out there in the on the Mark channel, if you would just go ahead and click on the link in the description. Come on over to the to the Non-Negotiables podcast channel and subscribe. We're trying to transfer everybody over to Non-Negotiables because YouTube is killing on the Mark. Yes, I shaved. My wife is not very fond of the beard, so it's our anniversary on Monday, and I decided that as part of my gifts, I was going to give her a clean-shaven husband. So I don't know. I miss it. I feel like I'm all out in the world, exposed, but she likes it, and so the wife is happy. Daddy gonna be happy. At least that's what I expect. So the stream is called Lockdowns, Shutdowns, and the Breaking of America. And there is a fascinating thing happening. We watched as Trump and the Trump administration built the greatest economy in human history. We saw what it really meant to run a country well, to open up a nation and give the people freedom to do what they do best, which is innovate and be entrepreneurial. And now we're watching person after person, governor after governor, before Trump is even out of office, making these leaps, these bounds to shut down and to trash the country. And I have a reason why. I think I understand their purpose behind it, and I'll tell you what that is in a few minutes. But I want to go through and show you some of the stuff I'm talking about, some of the stuff that I found, and maybe we can discuss it. I don't know if I can get the chat up to where I can read it, but if not, I'll just get it on my other device, and we'll chat back and forth through there. Anybody on the Mark channel, I'm about to sign off there. If you would, follow the link in the description over to the Non-Negotiables live stream and subscribe to that channel. I'm trying to transfer everybody over there. So that when when On the Mark dies, when YouTube finally cuts the throat of the On the Mark channel, then you guys will be over on the other channel, Non-Negotiables podcast. See you guys there. All right. Hey, howdy, I see you. All right, good. The chat works. That's great. All right, so check this thing out. This is insanity. Okay, let's start with New York. Let's start with New York because today, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Donald Trump had himself a little presser, and that was it was nice to see the old commander-in-chief, the captain, out there in front of the pit vipers that are the media. He didn't take any questions, and nor should he. It was all going to be a whole bunch of, will you concede? Aren't you just being a baby? So he came out and he laid it out for the folks. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you go see it. It's everywhere. And he laid out the COVID-19 response. And he did a great job. And he laid out this whole warp speed thing. He laid out how, for the first time in American history, we've developed a vaccine and we'll have it ready to launch in between 6 and 7 months from the moment the vaccine started to be worked on. Unheard of. I mean, you couldn't imagine it when this all started back in March. But nevertheless, you've got all of these governors, the liberal governors, talking about how they may not take the vaccine. It's Trump's vaccine, after all. Kamala Harris said she won't take the vaccine because it was developed under the Trump administration. So they're not going to take the vaccine. They're not going to accept the vaccine for their people, but they are going to shut down. Take a look at this. New York. New York has been decimated. I got family in New York. One of my cousin's husbands is an NYPD officer in New York. These people are seeing their state and their cities absolutely crumble right before their very eyes. It's an incredible thing to watch. Now, with everything that's happening, they're going to go ahead and push even harder on the lockdowns. With Thanksgiving coming along, they're going to talk about limiting gatherings to 10 people. I don't know how they're going to back that up, how they're going to make sure that that happens. But it gets even worse. New York will limit private gatherings and bars and make sure that they're closed by 10 p.m. The Ohio governor issues a mask mandate. 3 more White House staffers test positive. Nobody cares about that. New York's mayor imposes new restrictions as the city reaches a positivity rate of 19%. Big whoop. It's interesting. They keep talking about the positivity rates. They keep talking about how many people are infected and how, there's, record numbers of people testing positive. Even though it's interesting, Elon Musk went on to Twitter and said, I took 2 tests. I tested positive and then immediately tested negative right after taking the test. Proving beyond a shadow of a doubt what many people have been saying for a long time. These tests are giving false positives. There's actually a guy that I saw on YouTube, a doctor, who says the false positives can be as high as 30%. 30%. 1 in 3 of the tests given are false positives. And yet, that's all they can talk about. Now, they don't mention the death rate falling. They don't mention the fact that of the deaths that have come throughout this COVID period, they don't mention that about 10,000 of them are people who died exclusively from COVID without some other mitigating factor. They don't talk about the fact that if you're under 70, you stand like over a 98% chance of surviving. Why not? Why not? I mean, consider what they're doing. Think about what the ultimate result of all this is. Economic catastrophe. People scared out of their minds. You got neighbors calling the cops on neighbors. You got Karens yelling at people at Walmart for not wearing masks. Why? Why are you doing this? I have a theory. Like I said, we'll get into it. But the point is that it goes beyond this. They're shutting down gyms, bars, restaurants, gyms. He's saying that the heightened positive rates are coming from gyms and house parties. Nonsense. Absolutely nonsense. Governor Cuomo over there actually told his health department not to do COVID tracing as it relates to the BLM marches, as it relates to the protest marches. There are no numbers on what the transmission rate at those marches are. I guess he thought it might be racist. So de Blasio, Cuomo, shutting down New York. You've got Gretchen Whitmer. This godforsaken demon. Look at that. Dead eyes. Ugh. Her husband has sex with her. God, that guy must have an iron stomach. So Gretchen Whitmer, she's the lockdown queen, right? So much so that the courts told her she can't continue with these lockdowns. They were unconstitutional. She still kept going. She refused to do what the court told her to do. Well, guess what? As if that wasn't enough. She has the distinction amongst governors to be one of very few governors who are in charge of a state that controls a natural gas and oil pipeline. It's called line number 5. This thing, I think it says somewhere in here, this thing carries 23 million gallons of oil and natural gas daily. 23 million gallons. It's a huge part of our energy sector or energy infrastructure, this pipeline. Eastern Canada depends a great deal on the oil and natural gas that flows through this pipeline. It's been up and running for 67 years. And she decided that it's going to stop running. And she gave the people working the pipeline 180 days to shut it down. The senator, one of the senators from Michigan, gave her a pat on the back, said, "This is a great idea." Now, the pipeline is absolutely safe. In 67 years, it's never had a leak. But they are saying that in order to avoid any leaks, to protect our environment, although it's had no negative effect on our environment in 67 years, that they need to shut it down. This is nothing more than one small step, a first sort of dipping the toe in the water on the whole Green New Deal. This, worship of the trees. And so they want to shut down this pipeline. And now, what does that mean? I mean, we're talking about 23 million gallons less of oil that we're producing for our energy here at home. Millions of gallons that we're not exporting into Canada. I mean, we've got a trade deal with Canada. A part of that trade deal is energy, is natural gas and oil. And this governor is just going to stick her finger in the national eye and say no mas, like Duran? Why? There's people in her state that depend on that pipeline for work. The energy prices for the people in her state are going to soar. She's hurting the national economy by doing this. She's hurting our international trade relations by doing this. Why? Why would you? Even if you believed that you are saving the planet, you've got 67 years of history with this pipeline where nothing bad has happened at all. I mean, I understand if you're a psychopathic tree hugger and you don't want to build any new pipelines, okay, we can have that fight. But this is a running, functioning piece of the American economy, the Canadian economy for that matter. Why shut it down? But that's what she's doing. And in 180 days, it will be shut down. At least that's the expectation. So you've got Michigan, you've got New York, you've got the West Coast, which is just insane. Can't wait for an earthquake to cut that chunk of dead weight off the United States and float it off into the Pacific. And now we're going to have Biden. I'm going to go into some of the ways that Biden is looking to shut down the U.S. economy. Well, we might have Biden. I don't want to say for sure that we will. But I'm going to show you a clip of Trump talking at this COVID conference, or whatever they call it. And if we lose him, if we lose Trump, we lose more than just a good economy. This guy is focused and committed to the Constitution. While you got Biden and Kamala and everybody else talking about national mask mandates, which are unconstitutional, you've got these scientists like Fauci and whatnot saying things like this, that America has an independent spirit, but now it's time to do what you're told. That's what Fauci said today or yesterday. These authoritarians, these strong-arm bastards, given power, they will drop the hammer on all of us, and they will take over. They intend to. Listen to what Trump had to say about New York and Cuomo's refusal to accept the vaccine.
Waiting for that final approval. As soon as April, the vaccine will be available to the entire general population, with the exception of places like New York State, where, for political reasons, the governor decided to say, and I don't think it's good politically, I think it's very bad from a health standpoint, but he wants to take his time on the vaccine. He doesn't trust where the vaccine's coming from. These are coming from the greatest companies anywhere in the world, greatest labs in the world, but he doesn't trust the fact that it's this White House, this administration. So we won't be delivering it to New York until we have authorization to do so, and that pains me to say that. This is a very successful, amazing vaccine at 90% and more. But so the Governor Cuomo, will have to let us know when he's ready for it. Otherwise, we can't be delivering it to a state that won't be giving it to its people immediately. And I know the people of New York very well. I know they want it. So the governor will let us know when he's ready. He's had some very bad editorials recently about this statement and what's happened with respect to nursing homes and his handling of nursing homes. And I hope he doesn't handle this as badly as he's handled the nursing homes. But we're ready to provide it as soon as they let us know that they'll actually use it. And again, it's a very safe and a great vaccine.
So think about that. Think about the difference there. He's a federalist, right? Constitutionalist. States' rights. The governor is the little mini president of the state, and he says no to something. The federal government needs to respect that. Now, granted, I'm sure he's loving the opportunity to tell New Yorkers, hey, I'm ready to deliver. You want to protect grandma and grandpa, but that mafioso wannabe, guinea prick, Cuomo, I can say guinea because my dad's Italian, won't let me send you vaccines. They're ready, all boxed up. But this politician, this bureaucrat, just so that he can stick his thumb in my eye, will risk your life. I get that he's enjoying that piece, but regardless, think about a Biden administration. Think about a Biden administration and think about it being, say, Mississippi, who came out and said, look, we will not follow a national shutdown or lockdown. If a Biden administration said that we needed to lock down and tried to mandate it, we wouldn't follow it. We wouldn't obey. Now, I guarantee you that the very first thing a Biden administration would do is say, okay, listen, then we're going to hold back federal funds. They would start the strong-arming process immediately. They might even send in the military. Who knows? See, Biden, the left in general, they couldn't care less about states' rights. The last time they cared about states' rights was when they were trying to keep slavery alive. Now, what did Biden say about the national mask mandate? Oh, well, can't do it constitutionally. But, I get all 50 governors in a room and I say, we got to do this, man. And what if they say no? He came just shy of saying, we'll pull their funding. We'll find a way. He was smart enough not to go there, but you can see it in his eyes. He had the glint in his eye, like saying, they'll go there. But that's what we lose. We lose far more if we lose Trump than just a good economy. We lose a real and honest federalist. For some reason, my chat's not working. I want to see if you guys were chatting in there. Give me 1 second. I will pull this up here so I can see what you guys are talking about. All right, rock on. Hello from Montana. Hey, Montana. The whole thing is infuriating. Listen to Dr. Christine Northrup explain the hazards of the vaccine. Say no, it's draconian, to put it mildly, social, economic, crazy destruction. More people die from the flu. Well, actually, no. Actually, no, MGTOW, didn't you hear? The flu isn't killing anybody anymore. The flu's not killing a soul. I think that flu, what do they call them? Flu cases are down like 98%. COVID's been a miracle for the flu. Incredible. So you guys are talking about, let's see, Ubarra. I haven't seen this Christine Northrup, but it's interesting that you say no to the vaccine. I don't intend to take it. I don't intend for my children or my wife to take it. My wife's an RN and she doesn't want to take it. But if you take a look, there's already rumblings. Airliners are saying, we won't let you fly unless you can prove you've taken the vaccine. Ticketmaster came out and said, if you want to buy tickets to our shows, you need to prove that you've taken the vaccine. What's next? Federal buildings? What about people on food stamps and welfare? If you want to keep your benefits coming, well, you need to take this vaccine. It's for the good of the people, don't you know? Of course, nobody brings up the fact that, hey, you take it. If I don't want it and I get sick, you know what? I'll waive my federally funded, health care. Leave me alone. I'll pave my own way. Oh, but no, they're not going to let that be an option. We lose a lot. We lose a hell of a lot with this guy. MGTOW says need to remove Cuomo. I'd rather homeschool than to pump my kid with that poison. That's another thing. I mean, make no mistake. They will require it for public schools. You want your kid to be in public school? They need to take the polio vaccine. They need to take the mumps and rubella vaccine. And they're going to need to take this COVID vaccine. There is no chance. There is no chance that that they allow kids in school without it. Beer flu is the cure for the common flu. All right. So, as I said at the beginning of the podcast, this is my anniversary weekend. My wife and I have been married for 18 years on Monday. Our marriage is officially old enough to vote, old enough to join the military. And honestly, our marriage feels like an 18-year-old. Really does. It's adultish, but man, a lot of fun, you know. So we're we're I'm gonna cut the stream off pretty soon, but I did want to. There was one more thing I wanted to show. Oh, Biden's 100-day plan. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do this one on another stream later on this weekend because this is actually pretty long, but it's all in the same vein. It's COVID lockdowns, the people that he's got set up to control his COVID task force. Every single one of them has said we need a national lockdown. One of them said 4 weeks, the other one said 6 weeks. Shut down the nation for 6 weeks. That's absolutely insane. I want to do a push for immediate coronavirus legislation. These links actually take you to the different proposed legislations that they want to do, and they're just shy of mandatory vaccinations. Um, but we'll get into all this a little later. I already had my daughter stick her head in here and ask me if I'm done, and I know what that means. It means that my wife wants to sit down. She wants to share a drink with me rather than have me drink alone on a live stream. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'm so grateful to everybody who subscribed to the new Non-Negotiables podcast channel. I had 5 subscribers Wednesday of this week, and we're coming on 106 subscribers today. I am just overwhelmed. I'm so grateful, and you guys are really helping me out. You know, on this channel, as soon as we reach 1,000 subscribers, I can monetize the channel again. The On the Mark channel is permanently demonetized. So not that I ever made a great deal of cash out there, but it was a little something, you know, that helped out. So this is going to be great. I think this channel is going to be awesome. We'll do a lot of these podcast type things. I'll keep the On the Mark channel for quick videos where there isn't this sort of interaction until they shut it down completely. I did upload a video over there today. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And that's that. I'm going to sign off for now. Again, thank you guys. Thank you so much. You really, I mean, you're helping me out a lot. There's actually a path to the future here on YouTube and podcasting, and you guys are making it possible. So I'm very grateful. Wish me a happy anniversary. I'm off. Take it easy, guys.